Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry. And Coach, the Tigers with a rough one in overtime against the College of Charleston this past Saturday at CQ Arena. First off, atmosphere was tremendous for that basketball game.
Yeah, I want to thank really everyone that came out. Our athletic department, you know, Steve and his crew and Mike and everyone. It was a really good game day environment. And let's give Charleston credit. They're in the top 25 in the country. They're clearly the team to beat in the league. They're well coached. And I told our guys after the game it was a tough loss. I said, I don't necessarily think we deserved to win because there's a lot of things we didn't do well, but we should have won. We didn't make a couple big plays late when we took a lead. So, we're all disappointed, frustrated, but I don't want to take anything away for how good Charleston is. I just feel like, just like I said after the game, I still feel like we're capable of playing a lot better.
Well, the first 3.5 minutes, you're down 11-0. And you never called a timeout, which a lot of times coaches do that. We saw Maryland fall behind, and they end up losing by 40 or whatever. You guys end up losing in overtime and had a chance to win it at the end. So obviously this team never gave up hope, even though it was a dreadful start to the ball game.
Yeah, look, we got to take care of the ball better. We had too many turnovers, and we're leaving a lot of points at the rim. We got to shoot more threes and make them. We're not shooting as many as I would have thought coming in, but we're missing a lot of shots around the rim, and that was a big problem on the game against Charleston. With all that said, we had a major defensive error when the kid Smith made a three, something that we just went over in the huddle and that we went over 3 separate times in a walkthrough. So that's frustrating. So we made a major error on that. And then we had a chance to win the game on a layup and ensuing foul shots, and we didn't. So, like I said, I still feel strongly about our group. But we're back, we're practicing, we're going to get after it every day. It's the only way to get better. But, with Nick, Cam, and Charles, they're going to have to play they're not playing bad, they're certainly playing hard. But there's a whole nother gear those guys are going to have to get to get where we want to get to, because we're going to continue to play through those guys.
Well, it's not going to get easier as the season goes on because conference games, everything comes out to a battle. We saw that the first weekend in the CAA. There were a lot of upsets because teams that haven't been playing well, all of a sudden they get in the conference play, and now all of a sudden stakes go up. Every game's a battle.
Yeah, your execution's got to be good. Your habits have to be good. What I have liked is, like I said, we're starting to have some practice. I thought Radir made some strides. He looked really good today. So him and Ryan, Ryan's gaining valuable experience. We got a big boost from Christian May. That gives me a lot of confidence in him now, but behind Nick and Nigel, or maybe in place of those guys. And now it's like Sekou's got to, we believe in him. He's got to give us something behind Cam and Charles, because I'll tell you, Tyler Coleman and Chris Bieku can. So, we have time to practice. We will practice every day. I'm not saying we're going to go for these crazy stretches, but one thing I've learned coming out of the non-conference is this group has to have contact daily. And that's kind of what we're back to doing. I've followed my 12 years here. I never followed more of this catapult, load management stuff. I've followed it like a treasure map, okay? We need to, which we've started to get back to just having our regular practices. You don't ever want anyone to get hurt. But if you don't practice a lot, it's really hard to get better. So that's really the focus right now.
So in other words, you're not sticking to an NBA schedule at this point.
I think we've had enough of that early. And we still have guys hurt. So we got to do what we need to do to, get back. Like I said, we've had 4 one-possession games. And
right.
We got to get that DNA back. And that would have been a great win. But that's a very good team. I think we were out-coached and outplayed. But somehow we put ourselves in a position to win the game, and we didn't. So that's, at this point, is frustrating.
And you get another crack at them late in February.
Yeah, if we get better, we got to keep getting better.
You're going to get a crack at them in late February, whether you get better or not.
No, that's true. But I told our staff during the week, if we're fortunate to win by 20 points, if we're not a lot better come February 23rd, that ain't going to mean much on December 31st. So that's really the focus.
All right, next conference game coming up is Thursday against Drexel. They're a team that has won 3 straight. Amari Williams, Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's playing great, averaging 14 points, 9 rebounds a ball game. Drexel, a team that's always going to scrap it up with you.
Yeah, Zach Spiker's done a good job. They're 2-0 in the league. They beat William Mary and Elon at home. Williams is the best post guy in the league. So we've got our hands full against him. And then they've got really good three-point shooting with veteran guys like Odin and Okris, and then the kid Coltrane Washington's averaging almost 13 a game. So they've always run good offense. Their defense is much improved. It'll be a hard-fought game. That's a Super Bowl game for us on Thursday because, as we told our guys at practice this morning, they're 2-0, and we're 0-1. So if we want to get back in the race, we've got to find a way to play better on Thursday. I think for Tiger fans, and we've been really appreciative of the environments here, and it is a good team we have. The biggest thing is going to be, do we take care of the ball? The last 4 games, we've turned the ball over between 24 and 27% of our possessions. It's unacceptable. And so we've got to get that rectified to get moving in the right direction.
After Drexel, quick turnaround. You'll play Saturday night at 6:31, not 6:30, but 6:31 in Stony Brook, Long Island. First ever meeting between the Tigers and Stony Brook in basketball. Tell us a little bit about the Seawolves.
Well, not that I would ever correct you. We actually played them here a few years ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
In non-conference.
First time you've ever played them there?
Yes. It looks like a great arena. Gino Ford's a good coach. I saw them. I started in on them time when we play those back-to-backs. You start getting ahead. You have to watch a couple of them during the week. I saw them play a week ago before we got ready for another team. So I don't know enough about them to tell you. I know they had a very good win at Northeastern on Saturday, and it's a quick turnaround.
And Northeastern had been playing well, and all of a sudden
Sure,
Stony Brook steps in and beats them.
I think what I would say is we've been through quick turnarounds. That was part of the non-conference. So, all that stuff goes with the load management. Like we've been through all that. We'll get ready for Thursday and then turn around and get ready for Saturday. But I fully expect this group to respond.
You mentioned Christian May. Had his career high against Charleston on Saturday. Probably played his most minutes that he's played this year. Is that kind of a coming out party for him, you think?
Yeah, I hope so. I actually talked to him yesterday because I recruited him myself. I went down for 5 straight weeks in the fall. I just thought, man, this guy, there's something there. I don't know why he wasn't getting pushed on us. And I love his family. I think he's got a chance to be really good. And he played in more in the post. Now we're turning him into a perimeter guy. I mean, 24 minutes against Charleston, top 25 team. Yeah, that excites me. Now he's got to be consistent, with his habits and because that could be, like I said, if we can get to a good 8-guy rotation, that can really help us now as we get into conference play. That was a little bit choppier than we'd like in the non-conference, but it was out of our control. So, I think he can do it. We're going to need him to do it.
You also mentioned Chris BQ, Chase Parr. They did not see any action on Saturday. Where do you see them in the mix?
Yeah, Chase is still hurt. He's got a back issue, just like Jason. We like back issues, seem to be on the menu right now. So, we're trying to get him back healthy. Chris Bieku is he's just got to stay ready. Silla's a guy, Sekou Silla's a guy we need to help us. He hasn't scored the ball around the rim. He's got to finish. And so what we've been doing the last couple of games is he comes in behind Charles, and then he comes in behind Cam, so trying to get a 3-man rotation, trying to get his minutes up. But he's got to get going because we do have confidence in Bieku and Tyler Coleman. And now is, I never say you want to put pressure on guys, but I am one of those guys that, this is the time of year we've got to start playing more consistently to our abilities. It doesn't matter if you're playing a good team like Drexel or right now Charleston, the top 25 team, or if you're playing a team that's 300 in the country, there's certain things we have to start doing more consistently. I think our kids are aware of that. The anxiety and the excitement you have as a coach is, do we start doing that starting Thursday.
Well, hopefully everything starts Thursday. The turnovers go down. The scoring goes up. Tigers will be at CQ Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We hope you will come out. If not, the game will be on CBS Sports Network, and I'll have the call for you on TowsonTigers.com. So for the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry, I'm Spiro Marikas. Thanks for tuning in. Nothing?
You know, I hadn't thought much about stuff, but I thought maybe, you know, I was going to kind of turn it over to you. You know,
come out Thursday night. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.